I am so excited to announce that I have partnered with Magimix for season 9 of the Crazy Sexy Food podcast. Magimix is a family-owned business that has the amazing reputation as makers of quality kitchen appliances that are adored by chefs and home cooks alike. I remember growing up and always seeing my mum's beloved Magimix on her countertop and the utter ease of how she used it. With their 30-year motor guarantee, these machines have always been built to last. They continue to be relevant as ever in the busy kitchen and make fantastic food processors that make your food go further and reduce food wastage. They are a godsend when it comes to batch cooking and using up leftovers. I use my Magimix every day. If you're ready to step into the world of Magimix with a new food processor, blender, ice cream maker, or any other bit of kit, then simply pop over to their website and use my exclusive code at checkout for a 15% discount. The code is MMCSF9. Don't forget to download the Magimix app, which is full of recipes, tips, and tricks. Make it with Magimix. Hi, and welcome to the Crazy Sexy Food podcast. I'm Hannah Harley-Young. This show is all about the love of food and how it plays a part in our lives. I sit down with well-known personalities, food experts, chefs, and people who, well, just love their food, to find out all about their life, career, and their favourite tastes along the way. Today I'm joined by the Italian culinary king that is Gennaro Contaldo. Gennaro has had a career that spans over 50 years. He has worked with some of the biggest names in the food industry, most notably a little known chef by the name of Jamie Oliver. He has featured on every possible food program you can think of, as well as hosting his own shows with good friend, the late Antonio Carluccio. Gennaro is the sort of guy who can put a smile on your face just by his lovable character, velvety Italian accent, and love of all things food. Gennaro, ciao.
Ciao.
Welcome to Crazy Sexy Food.
Thank you very much, Anna. That is good to you. I mean, all your words are so beautiful. You put them out, they're so romantic. Oh. Yes, I've worked with many chefs. Of course, Mr. Antonio. It's endless. I think it was an endless love. You know, Mr. Antonio so much. After being worked for 35, 36, maybe more. Ever 1 million arguments every single day. A kiss at the end of the evening in a nice way.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so happy you've joined me at my home. I have to say, you are the first proper Italian chef that has stepped foot into this property, and I honestly am honoured. I hope I'm going to get a few tips and tricks from you as well along the way.
With a strong Italian accent, like an Taleggio cheese.
Exactly.
I believe I used to speak English a little bit better at the beginning. Mine is so worse now.
Really?
Incredible. Sometimes Jamie, when we do something together, he says, "Can I translate for him?" Bless him.
Oh, bless
I love him. I love it.
Well, we're going to come to all of these wonderful characters that you have, had the opportunity to work with over the years. But I always start my conversations with asking, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Oh, well, this morning I had a lovely coffee, espresso.
Okay.
Really good coffee I had, and had a couple of slices of a toast, which I squished a couple little very ripe tomato on top and drizzle of olive oil.
Ooh.
Oh my God, that is good for lunch as well.
And is that what you normally have for breakfast?
Whatever, lot of fruit. I do eat a fruit non-stop.
Okay.
Whatever there is in season, I do use it. Said, do you eat banana? Of course I can have a banana as well. Yeah. I have pears, apples, kakis, the latest one. So enjoy everything.
Okay, nice. So quite healthy.
Yeah, when I don't have any fruit, so I use the tomato, which is nice and fruity.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, congratulations, because you have a new book out, which is perched pride of place in my little cookery section of my kitchen, Gennaro's Cucina. I'd love to hear about it. What was sort of the idea behind it? Kind of give us the picture.
Well, the book's supposed to call Cucina Povera, but if I put the word povera, it means it's for people who cannot really eating.
Okay.
They're very, very poor things. But actually, it's Cucina Povera. It means the beginning of Italian cuisine. Whatever you have inside the house, this is what you use, and you create incredible dishes out of that. You never waste anything. Special bread, oh my goodness, bread. Nobody throwing away bread. Where bread are not supposed to be thrown away. You can make a dessert, you can make sauce, you can make a filling, you can spread them on top of the pasta, and you can stuff aubergines, you can stuff peppers, you can do so much of everything. And fantastic bread pudding you can make with bread.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is the thing, and we were talking just before recording about I have a really big kind of ethos about not wasting food. You know, this has been going on for years, but I feel like it's been a topic of conversation for a very long time, you know, at the moment. But why should we not be wasting food? And explain to us how easy it is to not waste food. You know, that there's just no excuse anymore.
Yes, there's no excuse anymore. Very, very easy. You see, you got lovely orange here. When I look at those nice and big orange, what I do, there is some left, or perhaps I want to do something else. Just to peel it, cut it, squeeze the juice with the sugar. Get those inside, you can make a lovely candied fruit and they stay there forever. And then when I actually do any cake or anything like that, add some candied fruit inside. You will love it. And they're yours. You made it. The smell is incredible. And the lemons in the suckler, they say, oh my God, the lemons. I love lemons.
And I also just think as well, you know, when we sort of look through our kitchens, we all have very busy lives, right? We're not expecting anyone to make a 3-course meal every single night. But, you know, sometimes I will look through my fridge and think, okay, I've got half a courgette, I've got half an onion, I've got the, you know, they don't need to be, they can be used.
Of course you can use. It's so easy. Suppose you see, you have a courgette, you'll have half onions, perhaps have half aubergines, or perhaps something else, you know, in a pan, just a little olive oil, chop them very, very small, saute a little bit, add a little bit of water, and let it go slowly, 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 like on a ragu. Boil some tagliatelle. If you don't have any tagliatelle, just 1 egg, 100 grams of double zero flour, roll it, just put them inside, grate it over parmesan if you have a parmesan, and never throw them away. The rind of a parmesan can be there in any sauce. You can even put them inside the sauce there, and then you remove it. Cut it, eat it, hallelujah.
Oh, gosh, I'm already getting hungry thinking about it. So I want to take it back sort of to your childhood. You were born in a very beautiful place called Minori, which is in the Amalfi Coast of Italy.
Yes.
I want to know what life was like growing up, who was cooking, what was being put on the table. Just paint the whole picture for us.
Yes, I was born in a little village of Minori in Amalfi Coast. Actually, I was born 30 meters above the sea. If many people ask me, who taught you how to swim? I always have. I can't remember. Can you imagine 30 meters? The mountains, because the Amalfi Coast is a beautiful mountain, was my back garden. Wow. The village was my playground, where you learn and everything. Every time about midday, you go home to eat, and then you get through those small alleyways. You can hear smell almost everything from the balcony or the door. And, you know, the lovely sugo they used to make, and especially when there was something in season, let's pretend the artichokes outside the balcony or perhaps outside the door, they used to have a little charcoal and roast an artichokes with the garlic, chill inside, and parsley, olive oil, cover up, and the smell was coming right through. Oh my goodness me. That was amazing.
I'm just sitting here like falling off my chair. Just, I can taste it as you're talking about it. So who was the primary cook? Was your mother?
And my mother, she was a very good cook. My sister, very, very good cook. Rest in peace, she left us. My father, he was, we call him the boss of the house, cooking. My mother always say, yeah, let him do it. As soon as he moved his eyes away, she used to come to see what he was doing. He adjusted. Yes, my mother, she was very good. My father was incredible cook as well. But we don't come in a family of a cook, homemade cooking. But this is everyone, everybody, where you come from, you know, the small village, you know, you have everything, whatever you ever grown, whatever the farmer growing. So everything was come done every day in a greengrocer. And if you had some chicken, you will exchange for some vegetable, and so and so and so. This was the life it was.
What were the childhood dishes that remind you of that time?
My auntie, Zia Maria Ragu, she let it cook for hours and hours and hours, slowly, so simple, because we used to make our own tomato.
Right.
You know,
tomato sauce.
Yes, a tomato sauce, also preserved tomato. We used to preserve them inside a beer bottle. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
We used to collect all the beer bottle.
Yeah.
And of course, we used to have also the machines which we close like a beer. And then we pasteurize all night. Everybody used to have this big drum with all this bottle inside and let this cook in all night. Then switch it off. And after about half day, when the water was cold, you remove it, and then it stays all year. But one of the best one was my sister Carmelina. She made what we call a Genovese. It's not because it comes from Genoa. It's an onion ragu. So it was 4 or 5 kilograms of onions cooked for 4 or 5 hours, slowly, with one stalk of a carrot, another one of celery, and half a glass of wine, almost dissolved. And if you had the chicken, or perhaps you had a bit of beef, or the lamb, or everything else, you used to cook them inside, remove it, because halfway you have to remove it. And then you used to have pasta, beautiful penne with that sauce, which you don't taste onions. You taste the Mother Earth. So incredible.
Sort of talking about your journey into the culinary world, I was doing a little bit of research on you, and I found out that you actually started working in a restaurant from around the age of 8.
10. 11. Slowly, every year. It's
getting younger and younger.
I'm getting younger and younger.
But still, that's a very young, age to be working. What were you doing?
In those days, different. Well, my father family was a linen dealer. We used to have a little shop, and we used to sell linen, so all kind for the bed, also cloth to make suit, so and so and so. And my father also used to have a lot of customers on hills, also around the mountains, which used to go around to collect some money, because in those days they won't pay the full price. You had to a little bit. Sometimes it's exchange for the nice chicken, or perhaps be the salami, or perhaps those people have beautiful, fantastic cheese. And one day, my father, vaguely I remember that, my father had to go on top of the hill, and my mum, she was inside the shop, so I was supposed to go on with him. But at the end, he stopped around his friend Alfonso, which he had a restaurant, small trattoria, cantina, and asked, can you look after Gennarino? The name is Gennaro, is big Gennarino, little bambino. I'll pick him up any afternoon. So it must be the age of 10, 11, so no trouble for me looking around what the chef was doing, Alfonso. And so he treated me like a son. It was incredible. And my father did pick me up in the afternoon, but it was 3 years later. Honestly, 3 years later.
That's when he picked you up.
That was what we call mature slavery. It was not. I loved it so much.
Wow.
Then whenever my father picked me up in the afternoon, but I stayed 3 years inside there, because every time I had a kind of day off, for me it was every day off. So I used to go inside the restaurant, help the chefs. My job, it was to run after the chicken when somebody wanted a chicken. So, the rest, look after the rabbit, and so, remove all the vegetable, help them around and learn in the same time.
I was going to say, the education you got.
Education, yes. So now you reach at the age of 13, 14, had to move a little bit, had to make fresh pasta, had to preserve meat, had to store almost everything, because everything we used to do ourselves, everything we used to preserve for the winter time. And that was good. And then you stay there. And then from there, you move to one place to the other. And in the end, I'm still in the kitchen after God knows how many years. I don't even know how many years. How old
we were sort of trying to work it out ourselves. And I think it was sort of, we're in like your fifth decade or so. No, more. Well, I don't know. I mean,
age doesn't mean anything.
Whatever, exactly. Darling, you don't look a day over 50 anyway.
Well, I can give you my age. It's easy. Why? Why shall I hide? It's so beautiful.
No, exactly.
I am 73 now, in 74.
Look at you. You look great.
At me. Oh, God bless you.
No, you do. So, fast forwarding a bit, you come to the UK. What was this? Sort of around the late 60s, early 70s?
Yeah, it was the late 60s, early 70s. I remember when I come in England, I had a permit. So this permit is to work in a fish and chips. And
a fish and chip shop?
Fish and chip shop.
Where?
Well, in Balham.
Okay.
In Balham, yeah. I only worked a little bit. And the pay was £8 a week.
Okay.
Which was good.
Yeah.
£1 a week. I think it's £1. Yeah, £1 something a day. Which, and I used to see all these beautiful fish coming out, and I could not understand why they had to complicate so much to serve a fish when the fish was already there, lovely and fresh, cod, beautiful, morluzzo, beautiful, and some other stuff. And I still don't understand why you have to put them on this butter, fry. Don't need it, drizzle olive oil. And there was no olive oil. No. Be the lemons. Maybe you find a lemon. And they are... so this was the age of when I come along. Also, they give them the permit. I have this card, like identity card, which is my picture inside, and then my address, and then where I work. And they used to be stamped, I think, once a month or something like that. I was very proud to have this. I still got this kind of the old dry license. And on top say Gennaro Contaldo, born in Italy, is resident so and so and so, and alien. I still got alien. I was very proud to be an alien. Yeah. I didn't understand. I thought I was somebody special. Yeah. After 30-odd years, I understood what aliens was. Yeah. And I always look every night. I look at the moon, and I said, then I come from there.
I guess something that I've had this conversation with my parents a lot, because I think the youth of today don't understand that back in the 60s and the 70s and maybe even a bit of the 80s, Italian food is not the Italian food that we get to have, like it was. It was considered quite exotic. Like you're saying, there was no olive oil. So I'd love to know what you thought of the UK coming from this beautiful place that had all the fresh ingredients. You told me you were working in a restaurant to come to London. There wasn't much by way of cuisine, in London at that time.
It was lots of restaurants, lot improvised. So if somebody was called Giuseppe, probably was cooking chicken, it was called chicken alla Giuseppe. I don't know what kind of stuff it was. And I remember one restaurant, which it was a very famous restaurant. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name. Let's put it this way. It's not there anymore. And I asked for a job. So they gave me the job, and carbonara, it was on the menu. In Italy, in those days, there was not much carbonara. We used to do it. It was so simple. And I looked at, fantastic, I love the place, people coming in. I said to Chef Tora, let me show you the way we do the carbonara. And he made a kind of a cheese sauce, like with bechamel, and then served with the spaghetti. The spaghetti was already pre-boiled, not growing on a tree, pre-boiled. So when somebody comes along, you get the spaghetti, throw inside boiling water, remove it, and then you put a spoon of the sauce on top, stir it, again, more cheese on top. I think it was Parmesan, because the Parmesan make everything good. And so, I looked, I said, very good. I said, what is it? And he said, the carbonara. And I wanted to explain to him, I can really show the proper one how to do without use any cream, any...
Yeah.
I said, yes, but I don't think we need it. Anyway, where do you put your jacket, he asked me. I said, there was room upstairs. I said, upstairs, go get it and go away.
Oh, wow.
He sacked me straight away.
He didn't want to be told what.
And that was the first time, and then second time again, somewhere else with something. And then again, different place, third time. And then I said, I can't shut up. I have to tell you.
Wow. So when would you say was sort of the moment where things, I mean, I'm obviously focusing on London here, but, you know, when things started to change a bit and people started to understand Italian food for what it was?
Well, people start to travel on quite a long, so England become Europe. It was easy access. You don't have to do so many paper passport. You can bring in everything in and out. Young boys, you know, they used to go on holiday in Spain, France, Italy. So they used to eat that lovely food. And so when they're coming back, they're looking for it. So New Delhi used to open up. So I believe the best time it was about roughly just before the 81, 82, when explosion of everything. You can bring anything in a country, because even when I used to go in Italy, I'd come back. If there was one tin of tomato, I had to show there was one tin of tomato. It was easy access. The restaurants, they were really good. You know, the French, they used to have this power, because the French cuisine is marvelous. But everything was in French, almost everything. And the Italians said, you know what, I'm a little bit fed up. Let's explode it. Bang. Off we went. We brought all that lovely culture. So better chef comes in England. So they want to change style. They want to change life. It was easy back and forward, you know, and you can start to find everything. And when you find everything, you do it, you know, everything which remind you home. But remember, the sucklers in a vegetable, you find that here in Italy, here in England, there is also in Italy, everything you find in Italy, suckler the same, meat is meat, chicken is meat, so and so and so. And with Antonio Carluccio, it was incredible, because Antonio, he was a really patriot, insisting that the culture, you know, if you eat Italian restaurant, that have to be what it is Italians. There is not a hiding corner. And so he opened up a little bit. There was the River Cafe, which he was fantastic. And there was also so many other restaurants that start to really be proud. The Italian very proud. You know, there was not anymore Giuseppe cooking a chicken a la Giuseppe. All people improvise, never been in a kitchen, improvise. As a restaurant too, I couldn't even make a soup.
Yeah.
You know, olive oil, there was plenty. You know, you wanted all beautiful salami, all different things, all everything, all different shape of a pasta start to come in. It was a joy. Supermarket start to have stock everything. So there was joy. Still is now. I'm so very, very, very much now. There is everything which we wanted. It is still here.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it's also so interesting with hindsight to see the evolution of, you know, of ingredients even coming over. I mean, I'm half Iranian, and I remember growing up and knowing about spices that none of my friends understood. Saffron, what's that? Za'atar, what's that? And now, you know, my local supermarket sells all of this, right? So it's just an evolution, and you know, as you said, traveling and culture and all sorts.
But I never forget once, this I have to tell you before I remember. So I ran out olive oil.
Ran out of olive oil?
But yeah, Ronaldo, remember when I come in England to cook it, there was a lard. But I wanted olive oil, not because I don't like lard. Also, I do like lard as well. And so I was somewhere else, a little bit too far at the excess, where couldn't really come down in the West End. So a couple of friends said, you know, the chemist. I said, chemist sell olive oil, farmacia. Olive oil. I said, yeah. So, okay, I went to the chemist, you know, oliva, oil. And then understand. At the end, they understand, olive oil. I said, yes. And they come out with a little bottle like that. And I tried to say that, I can't even fry an egg on this one. And I said, just an expression. And they understood what, I didn't know what to do with those. And they said to me, they went like that, inside your ear.
Of course.
Oh my God. Oh God. So half in my ear and half inside the pan to fry an egg. I couldn't believe it.
So did you end up buying it?
No, it's so expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was so expensive.
For like 10 mil of it or something stupid?
Extra virgin olive oil. I couldn't believe it. You buy the truffle, you would have paid less.
But that just shows you as well. That was what olive oil, that was what people knew it as, right? It's fascinating.
Oh, if you look all the cookery books, the English cookery books, just before the 18, no way I say, well, perhaps some books say, olive oil, it always said lard, butter.
Yes. Yeah. It's so interesting. So I'm going to fast forward quite a few years now because we're sort of back to like sort of present day. You have achieved so much, Gennaro. You've owned a restaurant. You've released 8 cookbooks. You've obviously been a staple on all of our favorite TV shows. You've worked with some of the best people in the business. Are you proud of your achievements?
Yes, I'm proud. I only wanted to be a cook. My is cook. You go in a restaurant, you create, you make the best dish, because how do you say? A cook is a profession to make people happy through food. Mm-hmm. But all this went on top, all kind of a bonus. The break was actually really when I met Antonio Carluccio. Antonio Carluccio is a very, very passionate person on food. He insisted it have to be, proper food. He was born in Amalfi Coast, by the way, in a place called Vietri sul Mare. Mm-hmm. And then he moved when I was about 6 months old, something like that, in Torino, very north of Italy. So his father was from south, his mother from north. So the culture of food, it was there. He had 2 countries together, two regions together full of love and passions, because Piemonte is unbelievable with the food. And all his traveling, he loved, and he took note on everything. So when I actually came in England, he used to be a wine merchant because he understood wine, and then opened a restaurant, the Near Street restaurants, long story. And because we had the same passions of go around collecting wild mushrooms, also all kind of wild herbs and so, because I used to, in my hometown, my father used to go hunting, my mother used to collect raw foragings for most of everything. So I had that knowledge. And Antonio had that knowledge as well of wild mushrooms. Mm. And he opened the New Street restaurant, and I saw a picture of him with this massive mushroom in his hands. And I used to collect mushroom because I love it. And one day I went down to see him, and I brought him in a basket of mushrooms. And then we started to talk and so. And he asked me if I wanted a job in a restaurant. I said, no, really. I said, I'm okay at the moment. So he said, think about, and so, but every time I go at mushroom, I bring it to him. And then one day, I don't know, there was these attractions. I said, okay. And then we started working together. Then from there, oh my God, we exploded with everything. Antonio was very good. He was one of the first one to do a TV program special on BBC Food and Drink. He always had a 10-minute slots. And then when he used to travel in Italy, then we made a lovely series about Italian food. The first one, he actually wrote in a book, Italian Feast, Italian Cucina, Italian, I can't remember probably the book. And then we made the first series of in Italy, Antonio, I can't remember now, I can't just remember, North-South Italian Feast, Antonio, North Italian Feast, and on from there we went round, and discover so and so almost at everything. And everything we used to do in Italy. We used to make a fresh pasta, lovely fresh pasta in restaurants. Oh my God, it was the king. The king in the sense that I love to make that fresh pasta. All those beautiful dish we used to making. And I remember when we started, I remember there was a pesto there, and some of the chef used to fry the pesto in a pan, and then you put the pasta inside. I said, what do? You ruin it. So we show them how to actually use the pesto. You don't have a pesto inside a frying pan. You have the pasta inside a bowl with a pesto inside, and then you serve it. And this is so and so. And then we traveled the world. We went in many parts.
Yeah. I mean, listen, for me, coming from the generation that I came from, Carluccio's, the chain of restaurants that he then sort of created, was kind of like the epitome of sophistication for me when I was 11, 12 years old, because there was nowhere really like that at the time. There was obviously like Pizza Express or whatever in terms of like Italian food. And I remember going with my mum to Carluccio's. There was one near us, and I just thought I was so glamorous.
It's good.
It was nothing like I'd ever had. And, I think the relationship that you guys had, although I didn't know you both, you could see it. I mean, watching you guys on TV is one of the most hilarious things I could watch. You two are like an old married couple. That's what you are. You are an old married couple.
Oh my goodness me! Every day we not complain to one each other.
No, but it was part of it. It was part of it.
But there was. I remember when we start to film. We start to film in a place. I believe it was a Badalucca in Liguria, and Nicola Gucci was director, and we started. So they give us, I think it was Naples, can be in Naples. Sorry, one of them. So, and I said, right, we're going to go here, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this and this and this. So you took a note of everything. And me and Tony, yes, took a note. Bang, the camera behind us, the soundman, other people, and we start. First walk. And we didn't say anything what actually we're supposed to say and what we're supposed to do. So they stopped again. Oh, it would be nice if you say something. And Tony, push me away. I push me away. At the end, after one day, there was no way can stop us. And me and Tony still didn't understand what they wanted, these people. Why? It's filming. And we knew how to film because Antonio, what? So, and the producer said, with little word, not very nice, no swearing, said, like the camera behind, they let you do whatever they want to do it. And then we looked at each other, what are they talking about? And that was everything genuine. Everything you see there, it was so genuine. We used to improvise everything.
It felt genuine.
We improvised. It was there. It's like two friends.
Yeah.
But also it was nice for us because we discovered a beautiful place, incredible, different way of cooking, still Italian through the regions, and then we used to go, wow. Why I didn't know all this? Why they know all this, all that? And it was good.
No, I was a fan, and it was very beautiful to watch, just because you could see the love between you, but also I quite liked the moments that were all a bit, the bit of bickering and the bit of this, but that's what I'm saying. You were an old married couple, and I love that.
That was real. That was real. Oh my God, that's a story which the incredible was real. I remember when we went down in the Amalfi Coast, and again the producer has said, right, Gennaro, I was in Scotland because we opened a Gem Italia in Glasgow, so I knew I had to go in Italy. But I had to open a restaurant there, I had to stay there. So they arranged me to go down to London, and from London, I had to leave straight away to go in Italy, Amalfi Coast. And Nicola Gucci said, we try to recreate what in your first book, Passione, is. which, I used to jump off the rock. I used to go fishing. I was like a dolphin. I used to catch an octopus, and I don't know where to put them inside my swimming trunk, which it was not just me. Everybody else was do that as well. Can you do that again? I looked at them. I was much young. I said, easy. Yeah, why not? Easy. So I went down, and there was the beginning of June. The water was a little bit cold. So I reached there, and straight away I said, I need to find this octopus now. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You go there, there's so many people. You had a scuba diver, you had another 2-3 people underwater, 2 boats on top, because it can be dangerous. It was not. I don't know why it was all this fast. And I asked my friend Roberto, because he was fisherman, I said, do me a favor. I said, can you catch some octopus if you can? We keep them alive, and then we let it, a lot of the stuff we let me go. Then in case I can't find anything, you know how the TV works. And I remember the producer, the assistant producer, they done a course of a scuba diver. They went down with a camera, also the cameraman on top, also another scuba diver professional, Antonio on a boat, and me go down, and I knew where I left the octopus. But I went down, instead of go straight where those octopus they were, I remember they used to catch octopus there, and actually I caught all those octopus in a real life.
Oh, wow.
And stuffed inside my trunk. What, the only way to keep, can't keep, I won't tell you the rest. It was so funny. So
how many octopuses did you have in your trunks?
I had 2, another 3, because after a little while you scratch it, you catch it, you press them a little bit, they go a little bit soft. You have to. And so they're stuck on your body. If you actually watch that clip, you can see. And also, I couldn't really go down very deep because I didn't have my flipper.
Yeah.
And then you see me goes down with no flipper. And then the next one, because after 2 hours, they put me the flipper, went down. And the producer, she was laughing so much. And the word, almost, I had to pick him up. And so the professional scuba diver filmed that bit. And
Brilliant.
so I went there with Antonio. There he is. I don't know if you watched that clip.
I haven't, but I need to find it. I need to find this one.
You collapsed.
It sounds hilarious.
It was hilarious. It was.
I'm just picturing you with 2 octopus down your trunks, but
Yes, watch it, you can see.
Someone else that we have to talk about is Jamie Oliver.
Bless his little soul.
Well, we know how you feel about him then.
Oh, my goodness
I
me.
want to know about the first time you met Jamie.
It was a joy. Come down in the morning, they ask for a job. And I thought he wanted a school experience job.
Work experience.
Work experience, yeah, let's put this. And it was good. It was really good, Jamie. You see, everyone say Gennaro Contaldo, the mentor of Jamie Oliver, because Jamie says everywhere, London father, which is all right, everything goes. But Jamie was already very talented. Jamie was at a college in Westminster, St. Vincent College in Victoria. So when he graduated, they asked him what kind of cuisine he would like to learn more. And everybody French, everyone in the other country, And then he said Italian. I looked at him. And his friend Marco, which we never managed to find him for many years, but a couple of months ago, Jamie said he was in France. He said, look, if you want to learn how to cook proper Italian, you have to go to New Street, Antonio Carluccio. There is a chef there, Gennaro, and have a look. So one morning, knock on the door, early in the morning. Chefs, they're always upset very early in the morning because you don't want to be disturbed because you have to prepare. And they look for a job. So it's more than that. So it was incredible. So he took a job as a pastry chef, but his aim was to be with me. And I realized all this. And because I was working very long hours those days, Jem is unbelievable. It's long hours. He's still working hard now. So what's happened? He wanted to learn how to make pasta. He became very confident for me. And I looked at him myself. I'm thinking myself, I looked at him because you start to love it, you know. I said, my God, I got so much experience. I never find anybody so much in love of the things I do it. Whatever I do, let's give it to him. Only the Italian side, I just done it. The rest, don't forget that Jamie, he was already a chef. He was in the kitchen before me. If I was at 10, 11, he must have been 1 month, 2 months old, 3 months, because his father and his mother had a pub with the restaurant. Yeah. One way or the other, you had to run inside that kitchen. Or your mom hold you, or perhaps slowly, you know, because like that, he used to help his mother, his father. So he already was very talented. So, and then we become extremely friends, because I used to get on at the New Street anytime. It can be 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, start to prepare all the rest of the stuff for the chefs, make the fresh pasta, fish sauce, get the delivery in, and so and so and so. Also make the lovely focaccia, because we introduced the focaccia in England, and now it's all over the world.
My favourite bread ever.
My God. Nobody knew how to make focaccia. We had to do something special with him. That is another story. And so Jamie asked if he can come down. I said to my son and my boy, I said, you are pastry chef. You already start early in the morning. You are the last one to go home at night, 1 o'clock. Think, how can you come down 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock and working all day? You can't. No, can I? No, so at the end, you know, I said, okay. So he came down, and my God, he was good. And in those lovely morning, a few hours in the morning, then spend all day, we created this bond. It was so close. And, you know, when I say I love him like a son, he is. I have 5 children. It's not true when I say I have 6.
Oh.
And we never left each other. We're still here.
Yeah.
We're still working together. We still, it's full of joy. He cares so much of me, not because I like to pump him up and say, but this is the truth, you know. It's amazing what he's doing. You know, well, before he had to learn from me, now I'm learning from him. It's just gold, and it's genuine. What you actually see on TV or whatever, this is what it is. Him. You know, he's what we call a giver. You know, he's working more to please other people than himself sometimes.
I mean, his success is phenomenal. I mean, I remember just as sort of the viewer, you know, coming across him for the first time, the naked chef. We'd never seen anything like that, Beautiful. You know. It was incredible. And it was just a different way of, it was a different type of food program, you know, before that, and we still love her, but it was very like Delia Smith. It was very, you know, quite formal. And suddenly there was this guy riding around on a scooter.
And this is what this Cucina Povera is.
Yes.
Whatever he had inside.
Yeah.
I said, let's put a little bit of that, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And this is what the Cucina Povera means. Yeah. Whatever you got, you cook, but you have to balance. You can't just throw everything in a pot. You balance. You have to know, right? The biggest mistake in many countries, including England, then before there was school, which you had to learn how to cook as well. I don't know about now, because if you can actually put those 2-3 ingredients together, it's actually, you save so much money. You don't have to say, well, I'm going to order a pizza, and a pizza costs £10, £7, £5. Where for £1 you can feed 3 people, and you can make your own. It's so cheap to do it. And so with the pasta as well, 1 packet of pasta, £2, £3, never mind. It costs things like that. then you can feed 5 people.
No, and you know what? I have to say, like, I feel like he really had his finger on the pulse about things like that. I mean, even behind you, I have 2 of his cookbooks, but there's plenty more of those, you know, whether it's in making a meal in 15 minutes or whether it's about feeding your family for £5. I just think that narrative was important, and it still is very much to this day, especially living through, you know, cost of living issues that we're having currently. But that you can still make good food at home, and it doesn't need to be expensive. It doesn't need to take hours. And those are 2 things. We're all time poor and we're all cash poor.
Yes,
right?
it is. It's also a passion when you actually have a children, and let's pretend, you know, you can make any kind of dish, but let's go on a very quick, simple. Make pasta. Okay. Then you break the egg and, you know, mix with the flour. You know, you need the pasta. You have small children, which they look, your mommy can help you. Okay.
Yeah.
That is nice. But also if they just all around, they see you making all these things. You don't just give them good food. You give them education, and that education is called love, because when they're grown up, they say, my mom used to work all day long, and she still had the time to make us good food. And this is love.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for my mum and the food that she was making me. So there we go.
In the back of your mind, you can still, now and again, wherever you're going, you might test something, and then out of the blue, you put I remember home. Yes, that is only a fraction of a second. Remember, they disappear after a little while.
Yeah.
But there is a moment. There is a moment that your mum, she's alive, yes, but it's more alive. That moment.
Totally.
And then when you actually carry on doing, yes, I know this is what my mum used to make it, but because you already spend it at that moment.
Always. And it's for me, it's the nostalgia of food that makes me the happiest, makes me the most emotional. I love it when food makes me emotional.
Of course it is indeed. Food is life.
Exactly.
In Italy,
this is why we're all here.
In Italy, say, eat to live, live to eat.
Oh, well, you just wait a minute, because I'm about to ask you something about that in a minute. So don't you worry. Whilst I was doing other research on you and all the successes that you've had in your life, I think the best thing that I discovered is that you were awarded a Guinness World Record in 2014. You're looking at me, and I'm not sure if you know this, but you probably do. You made the most ravioli in 2 minutes.
Yes, I remember.
Your face was a bit blank there at one point. I was like, I hope you know what I'm talking about.
I do have it, because they give me...
I need to know, how many ravioli did you make?
I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember. You have to look in a book.
How many do you think you've made?
For how many minutes?
2 minutes. How many ravioli? And then we can find out.
That was from the start. Okay, so what's happened? I remember that bit. The Jamie, we had to do a competition race. Who chopped the many chili in 1 or 2 minutes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, but Jamie's stronger than me. Jamie went, I'm still cutting one, and he's already done about half a kilo, something like that. Because then, what did these people, 4 people come along, with all the dressed up properly, with the measurement, you name it, all there, check the texture, check everything. And then when you make it, you know, I remember that they pick him up the ravioli to see if they was loose enough to cook, and then the filling as well. And they measure everything. They're really behind you, like an exam. And then they award you. So they got 1 award, which is already framed. Okay. But didn't tell you how many. Frame already framed. So as soon as you finish making, if you broke the record, they will come along straight away. I was thinking myself, how they're all here, they didn't move anywhere. Beautiful frames.
Darling, they knew you were going to do it. They knew you were going to do it.
No, because if you didn't do it, if you didn't make it, so what's happened? I will check them away.
I'll take it home with them.
I take it home with them. That was there. And Jamie go 1, and I go 1. I can't remember. I was in 2 minutes. Must have been 23, 24.
So obviously this is a very silly question asking you, but do you cook much at home?
Yes, I do.
Every day?
Every day.
What's your speciality?
Well, it can be anything which I find in season. Also, I do go on the market, special, just order in a market. Where I live, there is a market, Woldstone Market. You buy one bowl of cherry tomato for £1. Nowadays,
Right.
£1.50. And do you know how many sauce you can do that one? Oh, my God. This summer, last year's summer was very hot. I also have my diary and my Instagram. I post always. So I wanted to make this beautiful sun-dried cherry tomato. For 3 days, all the tomato, it was a kilo of tomato. I put them out in the sun with a bit of salt on top, and every night take them in on the board, and then next day take them out as well, again for 3 days.
Oh my
Remove
gosh.
all the salt and preserve those in olive oil. No extra virgin, all in olive oil. Because
Why?
Extra virgin is quite strong.
Okay.
You know, people use extra virgin,
Yeah.
and then the bitterness.
Yeah.
You need to balance with olive oil.
And was it phenomenal?
Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness. It was so good. And I still got a jar or two left. I give some to Jamie. Yes, I give some to Jamie.
Oh,
He
there
love
we
it.
go.
Every time you preserve something, I'll give it to Jamie. So nice. He says, family. He said the word family, home. You know, food home. It remind me.
Gennaro, is there any food that you dislike?
Well, whenever I'm going around the world, I eat everything which it comes from, they come from. But if you feed me with a small insect, locust and worms and stuff like that, you find them in people that, you know, clap their hands, you know, this is a new way to eat, to feed the population. I'm sorry, I'll stay away. I don't die. I don't lie. Who want to eat a locust which is move, or little spider, or what? Come on. I can eat crab.
Okay. I mean, I understand. When you do find yourself out and about, where are some of your favourite restaurants?
There is one good friend of mine in England, you know, is Francesco Mazzei.
Oh, we love Francesco. He's been on the podcast. We love him. Yeah.
He's so genuine.
What
His
a guy.
cooking is the way I cook. It's just not. Oh, but if I'm abroad, you know, in Amalfi Costa, there's a family business restaurants which are grown up there. It's called Giardiniello. The food is incredible because he managed to still keep the culture, elaborate a little bit, but all the flavor is there, and all the ingredients everything is almost local and seasonable, everything. I like fish, I like meat, I like everything.
Are you a starter or a dessert person?
Well, I eat everything. Starter. You give me a starter.
You'll take both?
I'll take both. I eat everything. I really like a bit of sweet at the end.
So I always finish with some quick fire questions. What is the craziest food you've ever eaten?
Never eat anything crazy.
Oh, come on.
I can't remember. I have to be genuine. I can't remember. Yes, I was in Japan. I was with Jamie, and it was not crazy, but a little bit, not because it upset me. So 5 o'clock in the morning, it was the market, fish market is called Chusti, Krushki, I can't remember. The big one, the tuna. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, everybody was doing this sushi. I give it to you. Sushi, and I give it to you. Sushi, and I give it to you. And he said, fresh. That's the only words. I said, yeah, fresh. And they keep on giving me that tuna, fresh. I said, yes, but I didn't eat them all. And I asked the interpreter, I said, where they catch this fish here? And they asked, and they said, Salerno. This is where I come from. I said, so I had to come all the way, this is what the Christmas, all the way from my hometown to the Tokyo market to eat the tuna, which was there fishing, which everybody's fishing it. And this is it.
What has been your most memorable meal?
The one day I come home from England, and my mum, she was waiting for me, and as soon as I walk in, she said, sit down, start to eat, because she looked so thin. I was quite big. And she gave me spaghetti con le vongole, spaghetti with clams, and it was so sweet, and it was so tasty, so good. I think because there was the moment, and because I loved it, in a way she said, my son, I love you.
Oh.
This is what, was just in a plate of a pasta, nothing else. And there was clams from where I come from, you know, the pastaio where I come from, and there was a lot of love on my mother inside that plate.
Oh, I love that.
This is memorable. Of course, been eating many parts of the world, that, you know, massive buffet almost of everything. It goes, why? But something to remember. You always remember your mom, your father, your sister, everything else.
Always. My favourite snack of all time is a packet of crisps.
Yeah.
These are my favourite crisps. They are given pride of place. Pickled onion Munster Munch. What is your favourite flavour of crisps and why?
Oh, it's easy. It's easy. It's the cheese, crispy cheese, salted cheese. Cheese crisps, I love it. But I usually make myself a crisp. I love it.
What do you mean by like a cheese crisp? Like a cheese and onion?
Cheese and onions, yeah.
Like a Walker's? Like a Walker's cheese and onion?
Yeah, because I don't eat much crisps. So every time they say, do you want some crisps? I say, yeah, salt and vinegar, cheese and onions.
Okay.
I say, yes.
Okay.
I didn't test anything
But you make your own?
Oh, you can make your own. It's easy. Slice the potato very, very thin.
You make it sound so easy. It
is easy. It is incredibly. You get a nice big potato. You got a slice. Straight away, you dry them a little bit, put them in a freezer, start to change color, remove, sprinkle a bit of salt on top. Do you want a cheese? Okay. Bit of parmesan, then you have a cheese.
Okay, there's no excuse. Fine, all right. Do you know what? I'm going to actually try that. I'm going to try and I'm going to let you know how it goes.
It's much easier if you buy a nice packet of crisps.
Do you know what I always say? There's just certain things in life that I get that it could be easy, but you know what? A good packet of crisps.
Why not?
You just go to the newsagent and just buy a packet.
Yeah, I saw, and I know quite a few people, sandwiches with banana, crisps inside, and then crush it. They go, cut it.
With
and
banana?
I scratch my head. Yes.
Wow.
You should taste it.
Okay.
They're very nice. That's what they said. I never tasted it.
I mean, I love a crisp in a sandwich, but it's usually got savoury things in it, you know? Like a cheese sandwich with some crisps. Or...
Agrodolce is very nice. A sweet and sour is also very nice.
What food sums up happiness for you?
Everything is fresh. Everything is seasoned. You know, one fruit which always gave me such incredible pleasure, and I couldn't wait, is when I taste the first cherry of the year. Pick him up, and especially if sweet, it look like a kiss.
Final question, and you've mentioned this already in this conversation. Live to eat or eat to live?
Yes. Live to eat and eat to live. Okay. And this is this. You see, we have to eat at least 3 times a day, but without, you know, we don't have to forget those people, children all over the world that can't even have one meal every 3 days. This is very important. You have to think of those. Let's eat them properly. Have a nice breakfast. If we can, use everything you have around, because it's in a sense not to use or throw them away the day after. Right? Have a nice lunch according to what you can eat. Mm-hmm. You can eat pasta, you can eat fish, you can eat meat. Please yourself, but with respect. Absolutely. Have a lovely light dinner that will help you for sleep.
Absolutely. Gennaro, this has been such a pleasure of mine. You have been on my screens from the moment I was starting to watch food programs, and it's just been so lovely to have you in my home. You are our national treasure, both in the UK and in Italy. I'm telling you that officially. You are a national treasure, and thank you so much for providing such good food into our homes. The new book is out,
Yes, it is
Gennaro's
nice.
Cucina. Go and get it. Don't waste food, and eat a packet of salt vinegar crisps.
Yes,
and,
it is.
And cheese and onion, and cheese and
cheese
onion.
and onion. I try to make yourself. I think it's much easier if you buy. They have a really good brand lately. Incredible. Oh, yes, I'm very proud also. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Until next time. Thank you for listening. If you love what you hear, please subscribe and review. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram @CrazySexyFood and check out the Crazy Sexy Food YouTube channel. Until next time, bye.